Hola, hola, hola. Hello. How is everyone doing? I'm going live on YouTube on my computer, and I am also recording in this phone here so that I can post it and I can also use it after. So if by any chance you don't see me looking at the same screen at the same time, that is the reason why. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today is Saturday 26, and the day is just beautiful. Usually on Saturdays, I have different activities than on my regular Monday to Friday, but I decided that today I really wanted to do a live video because I had an experience yesterday with a friend, and I wanted I wanted to share it with you so that you can understand and see a little bit more about some of the ways that we work in the hospitality business, some of the culture that exists in our world that I know for sure that can be applied again not only in restaurants, beach clubs, cafes, bars, but in any kind of business that works with people and for people. So yesterday I was having an amazing day with a friend. I She invited me to spend the day to the place that she works, which is uh, a it's a gym, but it's also they also have spaces where you can just lay down and chill, and there's a pool, and there's a sauna, and there's a cold plunge, and they have classes, and they have it's a whole thing that they are building, which is more into providing the community with a lifestyle. And this is for people to go and yes enjoy the gym and the facilities and the classes, but also that if you decide or if you choose to stay in the area, in the surrounding spaces that they have, you can actually spend the whole day in there, hang out with your peeps, and just enjoy and chill and even work because they had a co-working space too. So it's a whole vibe that they are building, and that was pretty cool. So she invited me there because she's a coach there, and I took two of her classes, which were pretty cool, something that I have never tried before. So after those two classes, we ordered some food and we went to the pool area to just enjoy there and just have a day for ourselves as friends because we didn't see each other for a long time and we wanted to talk, and it was a beautiful day. And then in a moment when we were actually like really enjoying the food, and the views that they have were absolutely breathtaking. Most of the places here in Bali, wherever you go, are surrounded by big rice fields. So when we were laying down and just seeing the sky and the rice fields, so the whole vibe, it was a very calming, relaxing, joyful, enjoying vibe. But then when we were having lunch, right after when we were finishing, we were about to finish lunch, she just points at me, not actually point, but she kind of tell me, right? Because she knows that I am a hospitality and leadership coach and consultant, and she just kind of points the fact that the manager was around there and that he was picking up dirty dishes, um, and empty glasses, empty plates, and kind of like, he was in a rush, and he was trying to do help, whatever. At that point, we didn't know, right? Like, she was just pointing out, and of course, me ending my hospitality mind, I would never ever um, assume that something is going on until I actually see and I actually understand what is happening. But what I mean is that when she actually pointed that out, she's like, listen, this is the GM, this is the general manager, and he is cleaning tables, and he's picking up these empty glasses and cleaning things that are on the floor, dirty. And she's like, can you believe this? Like, do you see like, how can that be possible that the GM is doing that? I just don't get it. And I move a little bit to kind of see what was happening and the kind of scenario, what was the situation around, right? Because we were laying down and it was very sunny, and I was with my sunglasses so I couldn't see, so I was trying to see. And then we started having a conversation about this with her. And she's like, I don't get it. I mean, you're the general manager, you should be supervising, you should be um, taking care of other things instead of just cleaning or just doing this in in a regular day service. And because we were starting this conversation, I was like, okay, I mean, I hear you, understand what you say. But she's like, yeah, but tell me, like, is this okay? Is it right? Is it wrong? Like, I don't get it. And once again, I just went in and I said, listen, it's not about being right or wrong. There's situations where I definitely know that a manager is going to be helping and working as a team because it is needed during the service. Um, and that actually shows that he's a leader, that he's leading with example. But, and there's a big but in here, this happens when in reality, to get into that point where you as a manager and as a leader, because again, we will go back to that, but we're talking about also different things, management and leadership. But there's a point where you know that you want to support, that you want to, in the spirit of teamwork, you want to be there also with your team, supporting them and helping them, because sometimes shit just hits the fan, right? And we know that we have to do that. But there's a slightly point also in here. This is definitely not happening on a daily basis. It is not. And let me tell you why. Not because it's something that is beneath the responsibilities of a manager or a leader. Not at all, because I am saying that in the spirit of teamwork and in the spirit of leading with example, it is something that you don't even think, like, you just do. If you are working in a restaurant and you see, like, it's madness. Some people do not get that it is madness when everyone is ordering, everyone is calling you, you need to clean, you need to also control that the kitchen is delivering the food at the right time, that the drinks are coming before, that at the same time that you're welcoming new people, you're also saying bye in an amazing, beautiful way to the people that are living. Like, this whole service thing is a lot, and you need to love it. If you don't love it, you don't enjoy it. That tension that is created in there, the tension of a service, it's something magical that not everyone can handle, or that not everyone actually enjoys, because there's this little feeling of enjoyment when you are in tension. I'm not talking about stress, which is something completely different. Tension actually creates and generates these beautiful moments where we are going above and beyond, when we are delivering a little bit more of ourselves for the sake of the service and for the sake of providing those amazing experiences to our customers, right? So when we are in that tension, when we are going through those moments, a leader is going to show up with that particularly habit that is already ingrained of us, because it is ingrained already, that you need to be leading with example. It's something that just comes. It's something that you cannot avoid. If you see that everything is a fucking sorry, that everything is a mess, you cannot just be standing there without doing anything. You cannot. You cannot. Now, the other thing that I definitely need to say, and when I was saying but, and there's a big but, is because again, this is something that shouldn't be happening every single day. When there's a need, and when you know that the service is needing you to either clean a table, welcome people, answering the phone, um, anything that is needed in the whole sequence of service, you're gonna do it. But if this is happening, or if this is coming on a daily basis from the fact that you have not find the right way to train and organize your team the way it should, then we are talking about something different. Because if you are there also 'cause you want to micromanage, or because you want to see every single thing that is happening, or because you cannot delegate, or because you are still not able to, again, provide your teams with the right tools so that they can have the ownership of doing this kind of work, if this is happening because of that reason, then that's a challenge that as a manager you need to be thinking, and that you need to be analyzing to see exactly how you can go through that. So that's basically the difference and how the work goes with management and leadership. And again, it's not like they are completely opposite. Definitely, a manager can decide to choose the path of leadership and go for it, because again, it's a choice. But most of the times, managers just they have this responsibility of making sure of supervising that everything is working around, that everyone is doing their job, that if there's an issue, they are going to solve it, right? But again, there's more to it. That's not being a leader. So when a manager finds himself or herself at that point where it's lost, and where it's just about making sure that people are doing the things that they are supposed to do by their standards, or by the way that the place, the venue runs their operation, when he finds himself in this, he just has this knowing of acting in whatever way to just make it happen. And this is, again, what we can see sometimes happening, that because things need to be good and we haven't taught our teams to do things properly, and we haven't coached them, because it's not only about telling people, it's about coaching them and showing them how we want, and that we have spent our time with them to give them the tools to practice with them so that they understand what is the purpose of the work that we are doing and what is the vision of the things that we are doing. If we haven't spent that time telling them and teaching them and being right there next with them, if we haven't done that, then when we arrive to the point that everything is a mess, we just need to go and start doing anything that we can because it's the rush of the moment, instead of having invested the time for our teams to do it by themselves. So that's a huge difference. And when you're a leader, you understand and you know that time must be invested in your people, in the people that you're working with. Because otherwise, you are not going to get the results that you want. They are not going to follow the vision and the mission and the purpose of the work that they are doing, and also of the company that they are working for. And that's when things just become a mess. And when she was asking me, I just told her, like, you can see this in two completely different ways. And then I don't know the exact situation. What I am seeing right now is that, yes, I see a manager that it is cleaning tables. And my first thing, of course, will always be like, that's amazing. Like, people also don't understand that when you're working in hospitality, when you start, you always start from the bottom. Most of the times, we start being servers, runners, bussers, and then that's a path, and that's an industry where you start learning and you start growing from the bottom. So when you're a runner and you have what people will say is a shitty job because you need to run and clean, or a buzzer because you need to start cleaning and setting tables and all of that, when you're doing that, you never forget of that work that you have done. You will never forget when you were also a waiter, a waitress. When you are growing and when you are developing your um when you're developing your career in hospitality, and every time that you grow a little bit, yes, you have more responsibility, not only in the service but for the people that are working with you, right? But you will never forget the first thing that you did. I can tell you this, like, no one in hospitality will ever forget the first job that they had, whether that's as a cook, a runner, a barback, um, any kind of position. You will never forget that, and all that physical manual work combined with all the mindset that you need to have to do that work, that is something that you will never forget. And no matter where you are, regardless of the position where you are, if you get to be a GM, or a director of F&B, or an operational manager, whatever, regardless of the place that you are, you will never forget about that. And if you see that a certain moment your hands and your help is needed, because otherwise it's going to be a mess, then you're going to do it. But just and only when you have also put in the work of giving the tools and the time to your teams. If you haven't done anything of this, then of course you're going to be running around like a chicken without a head and trying to to make everything look good, but that's not the way. That's not the way that it should be in that case. So when I was watching at this manager and my friend, and we were talking, I'm like, and I explained her that's the way that I see it. First of all, I don't understand what's the whole background. I don't know if he has trained his team. I don't know if he has made pretty clear what's the purpose, the vision, and the mission of the work that they are doing in that place. I don't know if he has invested the time to get to know the team that he's working with, if he has given them the safest space to kind of communicate, if he has created a culture of work with where people, you know, is the core center of everything. I don't know what kind of tool he has given. I don't know anything. It is true that if I see around and if I want to kind of, like a little bit with the when I'm in a place and I am seeing what's happening around, I can see already. But this was just us starting having fun. I was not yet into that mode. Because when I want to go into that mode, whenever I'm going, I can see it's for us, for people that work in hospitality, it's easy to see what kind of culture is developed in that place. But I was not in that point already. So, and I didn't also wanted to do it at that moment because I was spending my time with my friend and enjoying, right? So when we are seeing that, and that's what I told her, like it can be multiple things. I don't know what's going on a daily basis in here. What I see right now is a manager that is cleaning, but when from that point you start seeing what's happening around, and then again you see that everyone is busy, everyone is still making things happen, then there's a value in there of teamwork, right? But then on the other hand, which is something that I have seen in other places where the manager is doing all of this, blah, 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 and you see the team members, you see the waiters, you see the bartenders, you see the runners, the bussers, the cleaners, even the housekeeping going around, and you see them like not doing anything, like just standing or just looking at things around, or when they just go like, I don't know what to do, and they just go into uh, this mode where they just paralyze because they get, you know, stress, or they just don't know how to communicate effectively also, or they again do not have the right tools, so they don't know what to do. What do you expect them? It's not up to them fully if you haven't give them the right tools. So if you haven't given them these right tools, how do you expect them to just all of a sudden start doing something? Right? When you see around that the people in there are not doing anything, again, it can also be because you either gave them, but you didn't give them in a proper, correct way, or that you just haven't done anything, and you're just doing a management work, which is supervising and making sure that everything works well, but you are not putting in the leadership work. You are not, and that can easily be reflected on that. So when we start having this conversation with my friend, she's again, she's a gym coach, and of course she works with people, she kind of understand, but I really wanted to make clear because she was kind of understanding, and she's like, oh, okay, I start to see it. But I really wanted to make this clear that it's not like this is never going to happen, because again, leaders show up to work as a team and also to lead with intention and to lead with example. So sometimes this is going to happen. Nothing is beneath a leader. Nothing is beneath um, in the way of working with your hands, with your energy, with your mind. Nothing is beneath you when you work in hospitality. Nothing. So it was really important um, for for me, because she's also working with this GM, right? So it was important to make her understand that nothing is beneath of us when we work in hospitality. Nothing. We can just be cleaning even toilets if you have to, when again is needed. But again, I don't understand what's the dynamic of the work that of the workplace, right? So that's what I told her. Nothing is beneath. Let's start from there. If you see a GM delivering plates or sometimes cleaning, is because something is happening. It's either that it is needed in that moment and he's leading by example, or it's either that he just hasn't given the tools, the proper tools to their team, and he's trying to solve things in the moment without actually giving the team the ownership of doing the work that they need to do, right? You can prepare all your standards and all your things, but if you don't go right next with them and if you don't give them the time and the space to kind of practice and be there, and also to for them to be able to make mistakes, because there are mistakes too that they can make. If you don't give them that um, chance, if you don't provide them the training, and if you don't understand for yourself also as not only a manager, but if you don't choose to move from that only management position to a leadership position, if you don't understand that, then the results are just like this. And the workplace just becomes a place where people don't have any inspiration, where people don't know what to do. And that really also can clearly reflects on the customers and on the people around and on the guests that are there enjoying and that they are having, because then this also end up happening with us, that we finish our lunch and then everything was there for at least 30 to 40 minutes until someone came and cleaned it when we stand up to go to the pool. So that's when you start understanding the things and how it happens, right? Managers are there, they exist in companies to supervise, to make sure that things are happening properly, to solve issues even. But there are enough managers in this world and in places. What we need is leaders. And again, a manager can choose to be a leader. Anyone can choose to be a leader. It's just a decision, it's a choice. If we do not take that path, things just, they are just way more challenging and the results are not there. Not only the results financially, which I know that most of the companies are looking just at numbers and at the results financially and on the growth of the company and on the money that they are making, but also the results that, to me, again, as a people centered company, what I do is all about having the people and the human factor as a base. And that means that we work for the people that we are working with, meaning our teams, and for the people that we are working for, meaning our customers. If we do not make that our base, if we do not make that our center, the center of our work, if we do not take people as the most important thing, all of the other results do not come. They don't come. And I am completely, fully aware that not every company decides that. Not every company probably is interested on that. But also, I am aware that this is happening in many other companies and that there are owners, investors, managers, supervisors that really want to choose and really feel inside them that they can go through the path of leadership. And sometimes they don't know where to start. Sometimes they don't know, what's the first step to do it. How do we get there? How do we get our teams? How do we show them? How do we actually get to our customers to love what we're doing, love our place, love our product? How do we actually do that? First of all, is by taking the choice of going on the leadership and the hospitality part. Hospitality cannot exist without leadership. If we want to provide memorable experiences to our teams and our customers, we need to understand first why are we doing it. We need to have we must have this feeling of taking care of others, of seeing them, of understanding them, of hearing them more like beyond of the words that they are saying, and to actually and genuinely want to make them happy. When we understand that fact and when we want to provide that, all the other results just come because people, your customer can feel it. And your teams, also your staff, they feel like they are part of something bigger and something greater. And they just are proud and they don't want to go and they want to work with you. People just follows you wherever you go because they believe strongly on the purpose and the intention of the work that you're doing. So I hope that this is more clear in the way that we can all understand that leadership is a choice. That if you're a manager and a supervisor, you can definitely decide and choose to be a leader, and that the path will only take you to great, powerful results and an impact in the world that maybe right now you don't even have the idea. But let me tell you, it's massive. I'm here sharing all of this with you because I know inside my heart that hospitality and leadership can make a great impact in the world. So, the way that I work with leaders or with people that want to become leaders, that want to choose the path of leadership, is by either coaching them one on one, online, and in person, or by creating safe spaces with my courses where we talk about all of these leadership ingredients that we need to keep growing every single day, and also on the art of hospitality and how we can provide these unexpected moments, these unforgettable experiences to our customers. So, all of my courses, all of the work that I do, all of the talks and the workshops and everything that I create is people based, people centered, human centered. That's the work that I do. So, I invite you to connect with me. I invite you to send me a message. I invite you to just drop me a comment if you want, and let's let's create this let's co-create this amazing work together. I am honored and I am grateful to have worked with so many five-star hotels, venues, places around the world, and all the experience that I have gotten from all of this. That's what I am putting in the work that I am doing. I believe that people just have an infinite potential that they can unleash. And I am here to support you through that journey. So let's connect. Follow me here for more hospitality and leadership content. Let's connect. And if you feel that we can work together, that this is what you need at this moment or what you really are looking for, don't wait. Hit me up and let's start creating beautiful things together so that we can have a great impact and significant impact in the world by the work that we are doing. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day and we'll keep in touch.